Hi, this is Maria. I'm going to show you how I made this daily layout using Procreate brushes and some digital papers, and the text is actually text using Goodnotes. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the Big Natural DigiBujo 2019 by Gollan Designs. All the products I'm using today are from her. We'll be using Procreate and we'll be using Goodnotes 5. So this is my journal. I'm going to clear the page. I'm going to click the three dots at the top, clear the page, and I'm going to start from scratch to show you what I've done. I like this particular journal because it has linked daily pages, linked monthly pages, a bunch of other goodies, and it's a blank slate, so I'm not stuck in a particular design. So today will look like this, tomorrow may look like something else. All my weeklies are different, my monthlies are different, so it's just very custom. So, alright, I've got a clean slate. I'm going to click the little up arrow and export this page, save it as an image and click export. And then I'm going to save the image into my camera roll. That's just saving this as a picture. I'm going to go into Procreate, click the plus sign. Screen size will simply give me a very big canvas. I'm going to click the wrench tool, add, insert a photo, and I'm going to pick up that last photo that we just saved. There is my journal, and I do it this way so that when I work I will be inside the right parameters of the journal. It makes going back into Goodnotes fairly easy. And that add a layer, always work in new layers. I'm going to pick a pretty color. We'll just pick a dark green and paintbrush. I'm going to pick calendars. This brush pack is called Calendars, Dates, and Times, and it comes loaded with lots and lots of options. These are stamp brushes. I'm going to pick this one. Guess at the size of your brush, tap your screen, and you get the brush. Okay, it's a stamp. I'm going to click my arrow tool and just position that better inside of my journal and size it to fit. Okay, I'm using the arrow tool and I'm in freeform so that I can skew this. I want some space at the top, and I want this fairly close to my date. Okay, now I'm going to click my eraser tool and I'm going to erase this word because I want something that's at the top. Okay, I'm going to go back to my layers, add another layer. We'll stay with the same color dot. Back into paintbrush, and I'm going to pick a banner across the top. I like this one in particular, is actually another daily, but I just like this piece at the top. So I'm going to erase the rest here. I'm going to click my selector tool. I'm in rectangle mode, and I'm going to simply select the pieces that I don't want. Take 3 fingers, swipe, and cut. And I've just erased the rest of that page. So now I can take my arrow tool and position this where I want it. Okay, just like that. Tap, tap, tap. Moves things just a tiny bit. Alright, so let's put in our pattern paper on the other side. So I'm going to add a layer first. This is an iPad Pro, which means I can work in side-by-side split screen. To do that, you swipe up, find your photos, or you could do this with files. You could do this with other things. You could do this with Dropbox. Whoops. If you tap on the screen, you get another stamp. So don't tap on your screen. Alright, so this is my photo album, and I have albums. I have one called planner stuff, and I keep everything all here together. All my stickers and all my papers are in here because they're all they're all PNG files. So these right here are all part of a set called Spring Digital Paper. Okay, and they all come together. I'm going to pick the one I want. If you're not certain which one you want, you can click it, make it nice and big, pick the paper you want, make it small again, and then drag it over. That's how you work side by side. And then from here, I'll just size it to fit inside my journal. And I'm just going to try to make that match across the bottom. Pretty close. Okay, so there I have a pretty pattern paper on the other side. Now the other way, if you don't have a Pro and you can't work in side-by-side mode like this, you can simply add in your photos the way we added the journal by going to the wrench tool, add and insert photo from here. Okay, you can do it that way. So I want to fill the boxes on this side with the same pattern paper that I've used on this side. So I'm going to do that by masking. So to do masking, first I have to fill the boxes in white because right now this is transparent. You can see the dots behind the image. So I'm going to click a white and I'm going to fill the boxes. Now if you try to fill the boxes from here, you will flood the page. So 2-finger tap erases. What you want to do first is select that layer that you want to work in, tap, and make it a reference. Reference layer 2 is a reference. Okay, so now I'm going to add a layer on top of that. In this one, I'm going to fill the boxes, and this one works because that new layer is using layer 2 as a reference. Layer 2 is the outline of those shapes. Okay, so layer 5 here is only the color, and I'm using the outline as a reference. Okay, so now I'm going to pick a different color and I'm going to fill in my labels in the other color. And I'm just picking colors that kind of match what I have here. And you see how easy, I'm not even trying to stay inside the lines. I'm staying inside the lines because I'm using layer 2 as a reference. Now, I'm going to try to do something wrong here on purpose. If you try to fill, you notice I'm not picking up my pen. There's a line across the top called threshold. If your threshold is too high, you will flood your page. So if you find yourself flooding your page when you're trying to fill, don't pick up your pen. Just scoot your pen to the left so that your threshold comes down until you get inside the lines that you want to be in. Okay? You see how I have a little bit of an outline? So if you flood your page, that means your threshold is too high. Alright, so now I've got my reference layer, I've got my boxes filled in. I'm going to go back to my pretty paper, slide and duplicate. I'm going to move that to the other side. Okay, now I'm going to move that new layer over top of my layer where my boxes are. Now tap that top layer and select clipping mask. Now see, it puts a little arrow. That clipping mask will mask only the layer below it. So only the boxes that are colored in got the new pretty paper. Okay, that will work with any shape. Now I want to be able to write in those later, so that same layer that has the pretty boxes, I'm going to click the little N and lower the opacity. And this is personal preference. You can go all the way down or all the way back up to full strength. I'm just going to lower it enough where I can still see the flowers, but I'll be able to write in that later once I go back into Goodnotes. Okay, so alright, let's go back to the top here, add another layer. I'm going to stay with the same color I'm in, pick a different brush. I'm going to pick Split Monograms. This brush pack comes with all of these letters and a couple of wreaths. I'm going to pick B because that's my name. Guess at the size of your letter and tap your screen. And there is my monogram. This is another stamp brush. My arrow tool lets me move my letter, position it where I want it. I'm going to slide and duplicate. The lower one, I'm going to make a darker color. And you can make that whatever color you like. You can make it black or whatever color you want. So I've selected a darker color. This lower one, I'm going to select the layer and fill. Now the lower layer is darker. Now with that arrow tool selected, I'm going to drop that. I'm making a drop shadow. You can skew this. Play with that until you like the effect. And then click your magic wand and select Gaussian blur. And if you slide across, you'll see this little line growing, your blur. And I'm trying to make that darker color fuzzy to make a shadow effect. Okay, now I can still use my arrow tool and move that shadow around and just place it until you're happy with it. Okay, so that shadow, you can make this layer whatever color you want. I like the color combination here. Okay, that is it for Procreate. Now I'm going to select my layers. I'm going to go back here to the layer that my journal is on, turn off the layer that the journal is on, and also turn off the background. That will make sure that when you save it, it'll go transparent. Wrench tool, share, PNG, and save that to your camera roll. Okay, so you just saved a sticker. I'm going back into Goodnotes, click this little icon here will bring up this window so you can pick up your photo from there, or the same icon will show your little photos here. The first one here is the last one that you saved. So I'm going to tap and crop, take away some of this gray stuff, click done, and now I can drop it into place and it should fit really well since I used that journal to size it to begin with in Procreate. And if you pick a pen tool, click off the image, it will drop your image into place. Now this is a sticker. It'll move together. So if you use your lasso tool and images is turned on, you will move the sticker. Okay, I'm going to undo that. So make sure your lasso images is turned off, so when you work, you won't move that background. Alright, so let's add a little bit of text here. We're going to go to the text tool, pick a dark color. I click my color dot there, and you can select a preset color or a custom one from here, or pick one from your color wheel, or so you can change your color this way, or you can actually type in a hex code in this block here. That's what this is for. I'm going to go and just click one of these, just a nice dark color, pick my paintbrush, and I'm going to select Cindy Light to start with. I will put a link in the description of the video as to how to download purchase fonts. So look for that in the description. Cindy Light. I'm going to go back and pick a nice big font. We'll pick 60 and see how that works. Tap on the screen and type away. Okay, so there's my name. That wasn't quite big enough. I'm going to use the lasso, and I'm circling only the text because I have images turned off. Tap, resize. And you can make that as big or as small as you like. You can also tap and color and change your color from here. Okay, tap and color, and you can also do the same thing there. Okay, so I like that. Let's go and pick a different font. Let's pick this color, and we'll pick rock salt, just for some variety. And we'll go with $50. Let's try 50. That line tells me it's way too big. We'll go to 40. 30. The line is getting closer to the size that I want. Let's just type and see. It's still on Cindy Light. So let's back up. We want rock salt. In size 30, and we're going to start typing. That's a little small, so I'm going to select it all and go a little bit bigger. Let's try 40. Resize this little box. Yep, 40 it is. Okay, now it should remember your size and your text for the next one. And it doesn't always, so Goodnotes is still glitching a little bit with their text not quite working right. See, it defaulted back to 50 and I wanted it 40. Okay, I've also found that using the lasso to move your text is easier because you don't have that shifting. If you click text and double tap on you can adjust your text and your everything from here, but you lose half your screen with that keyboard. So I find that lasso lets you move things, lets you resize and color and do all these things without losing the whole journal. So it's personal preference how you want to do it. Yes, it is glitching still with the text. They are working on it. Let's try another text. We'll go darker here. And let's try Surf's Up. And we'll go with 30. And we'll see if that works. Okay. I'm going to use my lasso and move that one line. I'm going to do these one line at a time so that I can move them independently. Go shopping. Now you can move it here also, or you can go back to your lasso. Okay. Now the other thing you can do is make them all, whoops, that's not where I want it. We'll line them up nicely that way. I prefer using individual lines, that way I can move them independently. Let's go over here and, whoops, let's go over here and click text, and we will do it all in one box over here. We're shopping for milk. I'm going to hit return eggs, return bagels, return. Now all of that is in one box, but when I move them, they're going to all move together. So if they're not lining up with my squares, my little check boxes, it'll work, but I prefer individual lines rather than one box. Personal preference. It's whatever works for you. Okay, so that is my last font. I'm going to click my highlighter. I'll stay with the same pink. And I'm going to highlight the month of April, Wednesday, the 10th. And that is it for my design for this daily layout. We're using Procreate, we're using brushes, we're using fonts, and Goodnotes 5. Thank you so much for watching. I do want to say that I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you like my channel and you like my content, like and share, and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you will know when I publish new content. So I do appreciate you, and thank you for watching.